And let's start seated. Welcome, everyone. Hope everyone is having a good day so far. Finding your comfortable seat. I feel the need today to start with a few sighs. So maybe deep inhale, even before we really settle in. Maybe audible sigh out. As many as you need. I'm going to do 3 at least. You could bring the arms into it if it would feel good. If you've had enough sighing, few more if that would feel good. But once they're out, once it feels like maybe you can settle in, then we'll start to let the sit bones rest down. Letting the lower body be quite heavy, letting the backs of the thighs rest, the sit bones, the hips. And then while the lower part of the body, the feet, while the lower part of the body feels heavy, maybe imagining that the upper part of the body could lift or stretch or lengthen a little bit. And as you stretch upward, notice if it's become a bit rigid. Maybe soften it a little bit. I tend to kind of clench my belly as I start to reach up. So noticing if you can soften that, if that is something you do as well. Letting there be a little bit of fluidity, spaciousness, but a fluidity, a flexibility. And then notice your breath. As you breathe in, where does it go? Where do you feel it? It might differ from day to day, so just noticing what moves. Some days it's probably more up in the chest. Some days it might move more deeply down into the ribs and you might feel the whole rib cage expanding. And some days it might reach all the way down into your belly and the belly might move. Not judging, but just noticing where it is today before we change anything. Settling into the breath, letting the breath happen. Some days on days when I feel that the breath is a little more shallow, my shoulders tend to move as well. Just noticing. Can the shoulders soften? Know that we've brought some awareness to the breath. Can we move it a little more deeply? Can the ribs soften or the belly soften, depending on where it started? Can you find a sense that the torso is expanding back and front, 360, all the way around, like a cylinder that gently expands and contracts as we breathe? Can you imagine that the back of your head is in line with the shoulder blades, your tailbone? Adjusting the hands if they want to move. Maybe palms up would feel better or palms down, depending on where you started. Starting at the toes today, just feel your big right toe. And notice the second toe on the right foot. And the middle toe. Fourth toe. And the pinky. Feel the ball of the right foot. The outside edge and heel of the right foot. And the arch of the right foot. Moving over to the left foot, feeling the big left toe. Feeling the second toe, left foot. Middle toe, left foot. Fourth toe. Pinky toe, left foot. Feeling the ball of your left foot. The outside edges and heel of your left foot. And the arch of your left foot. And let's bring awareness up to our hands, wherever they're resting. Starting with the right hand, feeling the thumb of your right hand. First finger, right hand. Middle finger, right hand. Right ring finger. Right pinky. Feeling the back of your right hand. Feeling the palm of your right hand. Moving awareness over to the left side, left thumb. Left first finger. Left middle finger. Left ring finger. And left pinky. Feeling the back of your left hand. Feeling the palm of your left hand. And feeling both feet and both hands. Feeling left foot and right hand. Foot and left hand. Coming back to both feet and both hands. If the eyes are closed, starting to flutter them open. Maybe wiggling into the fingers and toes a little bit, letting go of the stillness, of the sensations, of feeling each digit individually. Pausing here to breathe for a moment. I'm gonna let the dog in because she's scratching at the door. So much for the nap. From here, let's move into the neck. As you're ready, tipping the chin down towards the chest with an exhale. And tilting the head back up on the inhale. Exhaling to tip the chin down, moving with your breath, your pattern. And inhaling back up when you're ready. One more time in each direction. Eventually making your way back to center. Pausing to notice sensations in the neck. Finding that sense of heaviness in the low body again, backs of the thighs resting, sit bones heavy, pelvis heavy. Spine long but fluid. Shoulders melting down. Some softness in the ribs and belly. And then coming back to the neck. Starting from center, chin parallel to the ground. Exhaling to one side. Let's breathe here for a full breath cycle. When your inhale arrives, bringing your head back to center. And exhaling to the other direction, looking over the other shoulder. Staying here for a full breath cycle. And then inhaling back through center. One more time each side, exhaling to one side, spending a full breath cycle there. Inhaling back to center when you're ready, and exhaling to the other side. Making your way back to center as you're ready. And noticing sensations. Moving into our shoulders, finding your shoulder rolls, whether hands are resting down or lifted or fingertips come to the shoulders, your variation. What would feel best today? Switching directions when you're ready. Releasing the hands back down to your lap. Let's stretch into the hands and palms and arms a little bit, reaching the arms out wide, reaching the fingertips out to each side. Imagining that you were sending, I don't know, lightning out of your fingertips, really reaching. Whatever visualization works for you. I like the idea of magic. And then let's reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling, stretching out through the heel of the hand. Breathing. Then reaching the fingertips down to the floor, reaching out through the tops of the wrists. Breathing. A couple more times in each direction, fingertips to ceiling, reaching out through the heel of the hand. As you switch positions, does anything happen with your feet? My toes want to respond. Just noticing. Switching directions one last time. Fingertips to ceiling. And then fingertips to the floor. And releasing the arms. Maybe shaking out the hands a little bit. Wiggling the arms. Shoulder shrug, anything that would feel good. Noticing sensation. Let's play with the internal and external rotation because I think it's a good movement. Reaching arms out wide again, but this time as if you're holding doorknobs. Then turning the doorknobs forward. This is internal rotation. And turning the doorknobs backwards, external rotation. Turning it forward. Turning it back. Coming back to your neutral position. Right arm will turn the doorknob forward. Left arm will turn the doorknob back. And reverse. One more time each side. And reverse. And release. Again, noticing sensations in the arms, maybe in the wrists and the hands, anywhere along the body. Any sensations or tingling or sparkling or buzzing. Making our way down the spine. Let's start off today with a side bend. So let's bring hands to hips this morning. Finding that heaviness again, resetting, heaviness in the feet, heaviness in the pelvis, in the thighs, so that the sit bones are glued down as though they were so heavy. Crown of the head reaches up, chin is still parallel with the ground, and the shoulders are melting down. Inhaling and exhaling here, just breathing. Finding the spaciousness in the spine and chest and heaviness in the lower body. When your next exhale arrives, we'll tip over to the left, keeping the right sit bone so heavy. And inhaling back up to center. And exhale, other side, keeping the left sit bone so heavy. Inhaling back up. Twice more on each side, moving with your breath. Exhaling to tip. And inhaling to come back to center. Keeping the idea of the opposite sit bone being so heavy, anchoring you down. Making your way back to center as you're ready, no rush. Releasing the hands from the hips and noticing sensation. Does one side of the body feel any different than the other? Maybe you were able to tip a little more easily to one side than the other, and just noticing what comes up. Finding the softness again in the belly and shoulders, if tension has crept in. Let's move to a twist. Options this morning. The feet can stay flat on the ground. If it would feel good to bring the right ankle across the left knee, that's an option. If this doesn't feel good and you want something in between feet flat on the floor and ankle across knee, we can cross the right ankle over the left ankle, or maybe cross shins, or even cross legs and then draw the right knee away as far as it feels okay. So there might be a little bit of a gap between, instead of the thighs touching. There might just be a little bit of a gap. So anywhere along this range of variations. If the right ankle is all the way across the left knee, then keep the right foot flexed so the toes are pulling towards the shin. Finding this tall seat again, broad shoulders. The hands can rest wherever they feel comfortable. And we'll move into a twist from here. So maybe the hands walk along the right leg so that the left hand comes up towards the knee, or maybe along the thigh. The right hand might come back beside your hip. We haven't turned yet, so still kind of facing forward. The arms are just reaching, breathing. With your next inhale, finding your tallest spine, crown of the head reaching up. As you exhale, let's turn the shoulders towards the right. If it would feel good to adjust the right hand so that you're holding behind you on the seat or maybe the backrest of the chair, you can adjust. With every inhale, thinking about growing the spine. With every exhale, allowing the body just to settle into the twist. Unwinding when you're ready with an inhale, making your way back to center. Pausing for a moment, noticing how the twist felt. And let's stay here, leg as it is. And with your next exhale, we'll tip forward any amount over the right thigh. If the right ankle is crossed over the knee, remembering to keep the right foot flexed. And breathing here. There should be no tenderness or pain in the right knee. If you find that there's some pain in the right knee, backing off. We're looking for a little opening in the hip. Again, not pain, but some stretch. When you're ready, inhaling all the way back up. Pause for a moment once you've arrived back in the tall seat, and then we'll unwind the right leg, bringing both soles of the feet to the ground. And then we'll reset other side. So either left ankle might cross over the right knee. And if so, left foot stays flexed. No pain or twinge in the knee at all. If there's any sensation in the knee, then we back off a little bit. So if this is not something that feels good or isn't accessible, left ankle can cross in front of right ankle, or the shins can cross, or the thighs can cross, and then we draw the left knee away, or to create a little bit of space between the legs, any amount. So finding your position, finding the variation that works. And then we'll prepare for the twist. Walking the hands along the left knee or thigh. The left hand might come back beside your left hip. Inhaling first and center, tall, tall spine. As you exhale, turning the shoulders towards the left. Maybe adjusting the left hand to reach behind you on the chair or on the backrest. And breathing. Every inhale lengthens the spine. Every exhale allows your body just to settle into the twist. Unwinding when you're ready, making your way back to center with an inhale. Pausing here, finding that tall seat again, broad shoulders, soft belly. When you're ready with an exhale, we'll tip forward any amount. Again, paying attention, we don't want any negative sensation in the knee, no twinging or pain. And if that happens, then we back off a little bit. We're looking for a little stretch in the left hip. Mindful of the left foot staying flexed. And inhaling back up as you're ready. Pausing for a moment and then unwinding. Letting both soles of the feet come back to the mat. Moving through our cat-cow variation. I'll turn sideways. Bringing the hands either to the knees or thighs, starting off in a nice tall spine. When your exhale arrives, pushing the knees or thighs away, rounding the back so that the belly pulls towards the back of the chair, shoulder blades spread gently apart. With an inhale, we'll draw the chest forward, the chin might tip up, and the shoulder blades pull towards each other. Exhaling again to round the spine, moving with your breath now. And inhaling to draw the chest forward. Moving through this cycle a few more times. Following your breath pattern. When you've had enough, making your way back to center. Finding that tall and neutral spine, crown of the head lifted. And breathing, noticing sensations. Let's move down into the hips and pelvis. So coming forward a little bit on your chair. Let's move down into the right leg first of all. Let's bring some strength into it this morning. So rather than just reaching down and lifting the thigh, see how far the right thigh can come up towards you with no hands. Maybe you're just coming up onto the tiptoes, but maybe you can draw it a little bit off the floor or in towards you. And then grabbing underneath the thigh. Once you've got your leg in hand, let's draw some circles. Exploring your range of motion. Oh, sorry, Luna. Husky snout in the way. Switching directions as you're ready. Making your way back to center. And holding underneath the thigh or wherever is comfortable again. We'll point and flex the foot a few times. And then some ankle circles, first in one direction, and then in the other. Pausing here, see if you can spread your toes apart. Noticing which ones don't want to spread. And then releasing the foot, giving it a little shake. One more time, spreading the toes apart, almost as though you were spreading your fingers, spreading the toes. Maybe they don't spread at all. And then releasing again, a little shake. And releasing the right foot to the floor. Noticing sensations, any difference from right leg to left. Okay, bringing left leg up towards you. Without hands first, maybe just coming up onto the toes, maybe the foot lifts a little bit, drawing the leg in as close as you can towards you before holding underneath left thigh. I forgot to do this on the other side, checking in on posture. Shoulders broad, tall spine. And then we'll move into our circles. Exploring your range of motion, holding on your leg wherever it feels comfortable. Switching directions when you're ready. And coming back to center, holding under the thigh again. We'll point and flex the foot a few times. And finding some ankle circles. Switching directions when you're ready. Pausing. Left side, let's spread the toes apart. This is my trickier foot. I've got a couple of toes that don't want to do anything at all. And then release, shake out the foot a little bit. One more time, spreading, 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 left toes apart. And then release, giving the foot a little shake and releasing left foot back to the floor. Pausing to notice sensations. Let's move through our sun salutations. Setting up your legs in whichever variation feels good. So that might be feet hip width distance, it might be feet a little wider, depending on how much space you like to allow for your torso to come through in the forward fold. Or it might feel good to have compression between belly and thighs. Deciding on your arm variation, anywhere between reaching fingertips towards the floor, anywhere along this continuum, all the way to maybe palms touching up above your head. So any of this range, or even cactus arms. We'll move through our sun salutation 3 times. So choosing your first arm variation, having it ready in your head. And when you're ready, inhaling to sweep the arms and to their destination. Exhaling to bring the hands back to your lap. With an inhale, cow pose, we'll draw the chest forward, gaze lifts. Exhaling to cat pose, rounding the spine, chin to chest. Inhaling back to a tall and neutral spine. And finding a forward fold. Maybe forearms come to the thighs, or fingertips to shins, or the hands might touch the floor. With an inhale, let's sweep right arm up into a twist. Exhaling the right arm back down. Inhaling left arm up into a twist. Exhaling left arm back down. Next, inhale brings us back to our tall and neutral spine. Arms sweep to their destination. And exhaling to release, hands back to the lap. Pausing for a moment. Choosing your next hand variation or the same one. Adjusting the feet if they want a different position. And here we go. Inhaling to sweep the arms wherever they're headed. Exhaling to bring hands back to the lap. Inhaling, draw the chest forward, cow pose. Exhaling to round the back, cat pose. Inhaling back to a tall and neutral spine. Exhaling to fold forward, forearms to thighs, fingertips to shins, or hands to the floor. Let's inhale, right arm sweeps up into a twist. Exhaling the right arm back down. Inhaling, left arm sweeps up into a twist. Exhaling the left arm back down. Inhaling, both arms sweep to their destination, bringing us back to our tall and neutral seat. Exhaling, hands back to thighs. Pausing for a moment here, noticing sensation. Last variation, adjusting feet if they want to move. Choosing the third hand variation or arm variation. And as you're ready with an inhale, let's sweep the arms wherever they're headed. Exhaling, hands back to thighs. Inhaling to draw chest forward, cow pose. Exhaling to round the back, cat pose. Inhaling back to the tall and neutral spine. Exhaling to fold forward. Inhaling to sweep the right arm up into a twist. Exhaling the right arm back down. Inhaling the left arm up into a twist. Exhaling left arm back down. And inhaling back to your tall and neutral spine, arms sweep wherever they're headed. And releasing hands back to your lap. Pausing, noticing sensation, any warmth or flow of energy. Beautiful, let's move up to standing. Coming through chair today. Let's continue on with a bit of strength work. So bringing the heels in towards your chair as much as possible. Bringing hands either to hips or into prayer, and we'll shift the weight into the heels, lifting the seat just off the chair. Hovering here, breathing. Feet are pushing into the floor, legs are strong, coming up whenever you want to. And everybody coming to standing. Releasing the hands. Finding any wiggling that would feel good, a little massage of the thighs maybe. And let's do our standing Surya Sun salutation variation. So we'll start in front of the seat of the chair. Finding yourself with the right distance so that when you lean forward, your hands can easily reach the seat of the chair. That's your measurement. Once you have your measurement, standing with your feet a stable distance apart, maybe hip width distance, maybe more narrow, maybe wider, whatever feels stable and comfortable. Imagining that your knees are over your ankles, hips are over knees, shoulders are nice and broad and over your hips, hands are down by your sides, crown of the head lifting, ears over shoulders. There might be a little bit of containment in the front of the body, just pulling the front ribs and hips towards each other a little bit, and a lengthening of the low back. Breathing here. When you're ready, let's sweep the arms in any of the variations that we discussed earlier. As you exhale, let's bend the knees and fold forward, reaching down the legs as far as possible. With an inhale, we'll move to straighten the legs any amount. Exhaling to bend again. One more time, inhaling to straighten the legs. Exhaling to bend. One more time, inhaling to straighten. Exhaling to bend. Doing things 3 times seems like a good idea. Bringing your hands to the seat of the chair. And knees can stay bent, but finding your spine about parallel with the ground, kind of a halfway lift idea. And breathing here, back of the head in line with your spine. And let's play with the idea of down dog from here, walking the feet back. They might get a little bit wider. And reaching the tailbone in one direction the crown of the head in the other. So this is another chair variation of our down dog, but a little lower. So just noticing if this feels okay, or if the backrest of the chair feels better. And then we'll walk the feet forward again. Coming back to that distance where the feet or the hands are comfortably resting on the seat of the chair. Let's bend the knees when your next exhale arrives. And then inhale to sweep the arms, coming back to standing. Releasing the hands down by your sides. Finding this tall and stable stance. Both feet on the floor, joints stacked. Breathing. Moving through that again, inhaling to sweep the arms wherever they're headed, any destination. Exhaling to bend the knees and reaching down your legs as far as possible. Inhaling to straighten the legs. Exhaling to bend. Inhaling to straighten any amount. Exhaling to bend. Last one. Inhaling to straighten. Exhaling to bend. Then bringing your hands back to the seat of the chair. Finding that halfway lift position, spine parallel to the floor. Breathing here for a few breaths. Knees can stay bent or straight, whatever feels better for your body, keeping lots of space in the back. Now let's step the right foot back any amount, finding a variation of a high lunge. So you can be up on your toes, the heel can be lifted. And then drawing the chest forward, maybe looking forward. Reaching down through the back of the right heel, stretching into the back of the right leg. Then releasing, let's step the right foot forward again. Might feel good to bend and straighten the legs, just a little wiggle. Then when you're ready, we'll step the left foot back, coming up onto the toes. Left heel can lift. Drawing the chest forward, maybe gazing forward. Reaching down through the left heel. Stretching into the back of the left leg. And then releasing, stepping the left foot forward to meet the right. Finding this halfway lift position again. One full cycle of breath here. And when your next exhale arrives, we'll bend the knees. And inhale all the way back to standing. Releasing hands to your sides. Beautiful. Let's turn the chair around so we have access to the backrest of the chair. And we'll add on to our high lunge with a little more height and space. So starting off so that fingertips can rest lightly on the backrest of the chair. From here, from both feet standing stable, we'll step the right foot back. Same idea, high lunge, but we've got a little more space. We're not bent over quite so much. We're up on the right toes, right heel is lifted. And we'll find a bit of flow here. So imagine making the right heel heavy, so we're stretching into the back of the right leg again, but there's still quite a bit of space in the low back, tailbone is reaching down, or you could think about containing the front body, hips towards ribs. When your next inhale arrives, let's straighten the left leg. And as you exhale, tip forward as though you're bending over the left leg. Inhaling back upright. And exhaling to bend the left knee. Again, inhaling to straighten left leg. Exhaling to tip forward. Inhaling back up. Exhaling back to the lunge. Left knee bends. One more time. Inhale. Exhale to tip. Inhale to come back upright. Exhale to bend. Pausing in the lunge. And then when you're ready, stepping the right foot forward. Maybe a few steps, maybe one big leap, bringing you back to both feet standing. Releasing the chair for a moment if that would feel okay. Finding your tall stance, strong, tall, shoulders broad, spaciousness in the chest and ribs and neck. Then bringing your fingertips back to the chair. When you're ready, we'll step the left foot back. Coming into a high lunge on this side. Right knee is bent. Left heel is heavily reaching down towards the floor so that you're stretching into the back of the left leg. There's still space in the low back, sending the tailbone down. Breathing. And then we'll find our flow. When you're ready, inhaling to straighten the right leg. Exhaling to tip forward. Inhaling back up. Exhaling to bend the right knee. Again, inhaling to straighten right knee. Exhale to tip forward. Inhaling back up. Exhaling to the lunge, right knee bends. One more time, inhaling to straighten. Exhaling to tip. Inhaling to come back up. Exhaling to lunge. Staying here in the lunge for a moment, breathing. And then when you're ready, stepping the left foot forward. And coming back to both feet, finding any wiggling or massage of the hips, thighs, anywhere that feels it could use a little love. Let's find one downward dog with the backrest of the chair, so hands can rest on the backrest. Walking the feet back, feet can be wide, knees can be bent, reaching the tailbone in one direction, crown of the head in the other, and breathing here. Lots of length in the spine. One more breath if it feels okay to stay. And then we'll walk the feet back towards the chair, coming back to standing. And making our way down to sit again. Feeling the sweet support of your chair on the backs of your thighs. Maybe a little wiggle would feel good. A little shimmy of the shoulders. It might feel good to move your whole torso in a circle. Switching directions if you're making a circle. And then finding your center again, and letting it be a bit soft, a bit relaxed. Hands can rest wherever they feel good. Shoulders melting down. If it would feel good to rest back against the backrest of your chair, that's an option. Maybe walking the feet out away from you a little bit, allowing it to be a less rigid, less proper posture. Might feel good to end practice with a few sighs as well. Maybe they're audible. Maybe they're not required. Deciding what works for you. And then settling into your seat, letting go of any control of the breath. And noticing now where your breath is as it returns to its natural rhythm. Maybe bringing to mind any observations that you had as we began practice. How shallow or deep your breath was. And just noticing how it compares to how your breath is now. Has anything changed? Does it feel any different to breathe after practice than it did before? Just observing for a few more cycles of breath. Starting to prepare yourself to close practice. The hands might stay exactly where they are, or maybe they come over your heart or into Anjali Mudra or prayer position. Sending gratitude to yourself, first of all, for making the time to practice, to move and breathe together, and to honor your body and breath. With gratitude for allowing me to guide this practice today. And with gratitude to all the students and teachers who have come before us, passing down this practice. Peace. Thank you all. I will stop the recording here.